It was announced this morning that Gal Gadot will be returning as Wonder Woman in the new era of DC movies. Reported by comicbook.com, this comes after the recent change of leadership from the old Warner Bros. To Warner Bros. Discovery, and it sounds like, from the words of Gal Gadot, that this is something that is very much happening. Up to this point, it was fairly unclear what DC was going to do with the character, especially after the events of The Flash, which both James Gunn and Peter Safran said was going to be resetting the entire movie franchise. On the one hand, I think Gal Gadot's performance is really great, like S tier. To me, she embodies the character of Wonder Woman as much as Robert Downey Jr. does Iron Man or Hugh Jackman Wolverine. On the other hand, this is supposed to be a new movie universe. So let's start doing the math for a second. They're introducing a new Superman with David Cornsweet. They're going to be introducing a new Batman whose name has not been announced. And they're going to be keeping Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. We're going to have a DC Trinity superhero team consisting of 2 new actors and 1 from the original version of this franchise. I feel like DC is taking the approach that Marvel did with J. Jonah Jameson. They just introduced J.K. Simmons again as the character and are hoping fans are just cool with it. Like, hey, I know them. But the problem with this is it's such a significant character. And if you really are rebooting the entire franchise, wouldn't it make more sense to start fresh, especially with your core characters? I'm already very unsure about the idea of James Gunn bringing on his characters that he introduced in the previous franchise, like the Suicide Squad characters and Peacemaker, because that just feels like obvious favoritism towards his own projects. But the idea of introducing Gal Gadot's character with an all-new slate of characters, it feels very strange. Not to mention, the last movie we got with Gal Gadot as the character was in Wonder Woman 1984, and that movie was, shall we say, bad. She did make a reappearance in both Shazam! Fury of the Gods and The Flash, but I feel like James Gunn and Peter Safran shouldn't be looking to those movies as a reason to keep Gal Gadot around. If anything, her inclusion didn't do much to benefit the movie. I thought one of the reasons why they replaced David Cornsweet with Cavill was because of the financial failure of Black Adam. The cameo of Henry Cavill in the film didn't move the goalposts for the movie whatsoever. It still was a financial bomb. And yet then they have their biggest failure of all time with The Flash, and somehow they're thinking, yeah, Gal Gadot, that's the one to go with. I'm all for supporting actors right now during this difficult time within Hollywood trying to negotiate the future of the industry, but we also have to acknowledge that there are plenty of actors that could play the character of Wonder Woman just as well as Gal Gadot that would make more sense in a rebooted universe. Do I think this is the right decision? Truthfully, no, I don't. This isn't the same thing as, for instance, Hugh Jackman's inclusion in Deadpool 3. That's a multiverse movie. It's not the same as J. Jonah Jameson because J.K. Simmons plays a very minor role. This would be like rebooting the Marvel Universe and keeping Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, but then replacing Chris Hemsworth and Chris Evans for Thor and Captain America. It just is jarring. It's jarring to the audience. They're going to be watching it being like, I just don't see how this is a new thing. You're going to confuse people because you're going to think, what is this? Why is there new characters playing some parts and not others? DC needs cohesion for its brand, and this is simply the opposite of that. But I do know this is a defining role for Gal Gadot, and I'm certain her team has been working hard to try and keep her on as the character. But then this, of course, opens the door to others, like, will Zachary Levi continue playing Shazam? Blue Beetle has already been confirmed to move forward in the future of DC. Everything's up in the air at this point. I just feel like the decision by James Gunn and Peter Safran to not do a full reset of this universe could very well bite it in the butt in the future. And to be completely honest, I don't know if this universe will ever have legs without that hard reset. What do you guys think? Do you think that this decision is the right call? Do you think Gal Gadot should continue playing the character? Are there other actors that you think could fulfill the role? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like this video, please check out my other video that I made recently about how Twitter has been replaced by X. And please subscribe if you want more content like this. Thank you so much.